Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the organizing committee, we request our honorable chief guest and the author of the book, The Brahmastra Unleashed, DGP, Mr. Sivanandhan sir, to the dais. We also invite Professor Dr. Natarajan to kindly join the chief guest on the dais. We request Dr. Mohan Rajan sir, the president of the All India Ophthalmic Society, to join us on the dais. Mr. Yashovardhan Azad sir from Delhi, we request you sir to kindly join us. Mr. Raghavan sir, Mr. Raghavan sir shall be joining us shortly. கனியிடை ஏறிய சுவையும் முற்றல் கழையிடை ஏறிய சாரும் நனிப்பசு பொழியும் பாலும் தென்னை நல்கிய குளிரில நீரும் இனியன என்பேன் எனினும் தமிழை என்னுயிர் என்பேன் கண்டீர். இதுவே தமிழராகிய நம் அனைவரையும் இணைக்கக்கூடியது. எவ்வளவு வயதானாலும் இரத்தத்தில் தமிழ் உணர்வு கொதிக்க கைத்தட்டலை முதலில் தொடங்கிய அந்த ஆசானுக்கும் எங்கள் வணக்கத்தை தெரிவித்துக் கொண்டு, அத்தனை மொழிகளுக்கும் ஆசானாகிய எங்கள் தாய்மொழியாகிய தமிழை வாழ்த்த தமிழ் தாய் பாட்டு வாழ்த்திட அனைவரையும் நிற்குமாறு அன்புடன் பணிக்கிறோம். எங்கள் வாழ்வும் எங்கள் வளமும் மங்காத தமிழென்று சங்கே முழங்கு. எங்கள் பகைவர் எங்கோ மறைந்தார், இங்குள்ள தமிழர் ஒன்றாதல் கண்டு. திங்களோடும் செழும்பருதி தன்னோடும் விண்ணோடும் உடுக்கலோடும் மங்குள் கடல் இவற்றோடும் பிறந்த தமிழுடன் பிறந்தோம் நாங்கள் என தமிழ்த்தாய்க்கு வாழ்த்து சொல்லி இந்த விழாவினை தொடங்க இருக்கின்றோம். உலகத்தில் இருக்கும் அத்தனை பொருட்களும் அழகாய் இருந்து விடுவது கிடையாது, அமைதியாக இருந்து விடுவது கிடையாது. ஒரு அழகான நகரத்திற்கு பின்னால் ஒரு அழுக்கான வன்முறை கலாச்சாரம் எப்பொழுதும் இருப்பதுண்டு. அளவை தாண்டி அளவை மீறி சட்டம் ஒழுங்கு எதற்கும் மரியாதை இல்லாமல் போய், மனிதனுக்கும் மனித நேயத்துக்கும் இடமில்லாமல் போய், உயிருக்கென்ற ஒரு விலை இல்லாமல், உயிருக்கென ஒரு மதிப்பில்லாமல் போன காலகட்டத்தில் இருண்ட காலம் பிறக்கிறது என்பது வரலாற்று ஆசிரியர்களின் கூற்று. அதுபோல அழகிய நகரமாகிய பம்பாய்க்கும் ஒரு இருண்ட காலம் வந்தது. எல்லா இடங்களிலும் பிரான்ஸ் காஃப்கா என்கின்ற ஒரு எழுத்தாளர் கூறுவது போல, in that dystopic, melancholic, dreary city I started my journey என்று கூறுவார்களே, அதுபோல எல்லாம் உடைந்து போய் இருந்த ஒரு குப்பை மேடாக, வன்முறை காடாக காட்சி அளித்த பம்பாய் நகரத்தில் சட்டத்திற்கும் ஒழுங்கிற்கும் ஒரு இடம் நிச்சயம் உண்டு. எங்கே நீதி இல்லையோ அங்கே அமைதி இருக்காது என்னும் முகமது நபி அவர்களின் கூற்றிற்கு இணங்க நீதியினை நிலைநாட்டிட ஒரு போர் வீரர் கிளம்பினார். அந்த போர் வீரர் நம்முடைய தமிழ்நாட்டில் பிறந்தவர் என்கின்ற மகிழ்ச்சியோடு நாம் அவரை இந்த விழாவிற்கு வரவேற்கின்றோம். யுத்த சத்தம் கேட்டால் போதும், முத்த சத்தம் முடிப்போம். இரத்த குளத்தை நிரப்பி நிரப்பி வெற்றி தாமரை பறிப்போம். உயிர் தமிழுக்கு, உடல் மண்ணுக்கு. இதை உறக்கச் சொல்வோம் உலகுக்கு. இனம் ஒன்றாக, மொழி வென்றாக, புது வேலை எடுப்போம் விடிவுக்கு. இந்த வாசகம்தான் இந்த புத்தகம். நம் வெற்றி பாதையில் நரிகள் வந்தால் விருந்து வைப்போம் விண்ணுக்கு. அதுபோல சட்டம், ஒழுங்கு, நீதி இவைகளை நிலைநாட்டிடும் அந்த போரில் ஒரு மனிதனுக்கும் அவருடைய குழுவிற்கும் ஏற்பட்ட அத்தனை சோதனைகளையும் தாண்டி சாதனை படைத்த வரலாறு தான் இன்றைக்கு நாம் த பிரம்மாஸ்திரா அன்லீஷ்ட் என்கின்ற புத்தகத்தை வெளியிடப் போகின்றோம். என் அன்பு தோழர்களே, இந்த அருமையான புத்தக விழாவின் அறிமுகத்திற்கு வரவேற்புரை ஆற்றிட மற்றொரு வீரரை அழைக்கின்றோம். இவர் எப்படிப்பட்ட வீரர் என்றால், சட்டம் ஒழுங்கு எனும் இருட்டறையினை துடைத்தெறிந்து வெளிச்சத்தை ஏற்றியவர் மரியாதைக்குரிய சிவானந்தம் அவர்கள். இந்த வீரர் எப்படிப்பட்டவர் என்றால், கண்களை இழந்து, பார்வையினை இழந்து இருட்டறையில் இருந்தவர்களுக்கு ஒளியினை தருவதற்காக மிகச்சிறந்த கண் மருத்துவ அறுவை சிகிச்சை நிபுணராக, பாதிக்கப்பட்ட மக்கள் எங்கே இருக்கின்றார்களோ அங்கே சென்று போராடுவதுதான் என்னுடைய கடமை என்று எப்படி செகுவாரா சொன்னாரோ, அதுபோல கண் பார்வை தெரியாமல் எங்கெல்லாம் மக்கள் இருக்கின்றார்களோ அங்கெல்லாம் நான் உழைப்பேன், நான் தொண்டாற்றுவேன் என கிளம்பிய ஒரு வீரர், செயல் வீரர். அவர்தான் எங்களுடைய பேராசிரியர் மரியாதைக்குரிய டாக்டர் நடராஜன் அவர்கள். வெல்கம் மிஸ்டர் ராகவன் சார். எஸ், now I call upon Dr. Natarajan sir, who had played a stellar role in making sure that the blind patients of Kashmir who were affected by pellet injuries and bullet injuries could regain their vision. I call upon Dr. Natarajan sir to give the welcome speech.
Mr. Sabri, where are you? Can we get the bouquets? So, respected Sivanandhan sir, Raghavan sir, Sri Yashwaradhan Azad, I'm a good friend of his brother Rajvardhan Azad, and my excellent friend from childhood, Dr. Mohan Rajan. His father was my teacher, and various dignitaries on the stage and off the stage, friends, and I'm saying all youngsters because this is being watched in the live YouTube. So good evening. So I'm happy we are doing this function in this same school where I studied. Can I request now Sivanandhan to welcome each and every guest here with a bouquet. Mr. Sabri. Now to Thank you, Shiva. So I'm happy to see you all in my school auditorium for the book launch authored by my best friend, mentor, guide, guru, Sri D. Sivanandhan. All are wondering that myself as an eye doctor and founder of the Sundaram Natarajan Blind Free India Foundation is hosting the book launch of Sri Sivanandhan IPS retired. Along with me, my co-founders, Mr. Akshay Kumar Sheth and Mr. Nayan Nirali here. First, I want to talk to you about Madras and Madras Christian College School. Like we are from the yesterdays of Madras before it became Chennai, but I always remembered the Madras Egmore station. There was always a Chennai Express where even it was Madras. So I was born in Madurai on 4th September 1957. In November, my mother brought me to the Government Eye Hospital quarters, the 10 Marshals Road, which is now unfortunately demolished and nothing is there. And my father was tutor in ophthalmology since 1955 in Government Ophthalmic Hospital, Egmore, later retired as superintendent in 1987. This is the oldest eye hospital in Asia and second in the world, started in 1819. And my grandfather, late Dr. S. Natarajan Pillai, was assistant surgeon in the same government eye hospital between 1930 and 1941. And he also lived in the same quarters. And also, we are proud that Madras has the first All India, in the first museum in ophthalmology in the world. And now American Academy has a big museum which worth $12 million given by two ophthalmologists. But we are proud of Madras because I want to bring back the glory, and I'm trying to. We have Dr. Balasubramaniam from Madras Medical College. We are making our anatomy building called the Madras Red Fort. And my father worked under Dr. J.E. Abraham, who was the legendary ophthalmologist who took care of our former Chief Minister Kalaignar Karunanidhi, who was the chief who used to teach me parts of the eyes in 1960s. I also used to rattle cornea, conjunctiva without knowing the meaning. And then hence I decided, and advised was my V.G. Panirdas, everybody in Madras will know him, who started the first beach resort in VGP Golden Beach in the 1960s. And make your dream as prayer and say it daily, sleep and get up and work. And actually, my prayer was in Tamil. நான் ஒரு உலக புகழ்பெற்ற கண் மருத்துவராக வர வேண்டும். I didn't know the meaning, but I did it. And my dream and prayer was I should become internationally renowned best ophthalmologist. It happened, but not by luck, but by sheer perseverance, persistence, and focus. Because Sivanandhan all the time teaches me, but he thinks I have a scattered brain or maybe no brain. My gurus, Dr. Badrinath and Dr. Elja Jovanovic from Montenegro, the old Yugoslavia, actually made me world famous. I studied in this Madras Christian College School and passed school final in 1974. I am very proud. My school teacher is here. Can I request you to stand up, sir? Thank you, sir, for really giving me all the slaps and beating on my back, and I think I am straightened. I remember that one day I cut a class and went with my friend's home near the Chetpet station. He immediately called my father, who was the chief of the government hospital, and one slap I got both from school teacher and my father. And anyhow, I am shaped very well. This school started in 1834, shaped me and gave me a wonderful strong foundation, sound mind in a sound body. We have 2 cricket grounds. Whoever has not seen the school, you should go the other side of the building. 2 football grounds, 1 hockey ground, baseball, padded tennis. Now it's called pickled ball, but we had it in 1960s. Table tennis, so many games. And I think whoever started, and I think we believed more playing than less studying. Then studied MBBS and ophthalmology in Madras Medical College, which was started in 1835. 3 generations we were trained as eye doctors in Egmore Eye Hospital. Later I was trained as the youngest vitreoretinal surgeon at 27 years of age by Padma Bhushan Dr. Badrinath. Then I was the youngest consultant, and I'm happy Dr. Badrinath's sister's son is here, Mr. Vasan. Can I recognize you, sir? Where are you? Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. He was the MD and CEO. And then I was the youngest consultant with him in Shankaranatralaya, which is near the school, and that's in Nungambakam. And every time he used to tell every patient he operates better than me. Who will tell that? And that too in 1984. My entire life revolved around these 3 areas, and I lived in Madras for 31 years and now settled in Bombay since 37 years. Hence, I am indebted to Madras and Tamil Nadu, Naan Perandaman. So I want to do something for that. Hence, the book release is organized by Sundaram Natarajan Blind Free India Foundation, which is a Section 8 company, not-for-profit, non-NGO. So I'd like to play the video. Can I have the lights off? First lights off, please. Stage lights off. 1 minute, huh? Okay, that's fine. Can I have the volume? Volume? I, Dr. Sundaram Natarajan, along with my committed team and partners, found Sundaram Natarajan Blind Free India Foundation, wherein our sole focus is to make India blind free. SNBFIF stands for Sundaram Natarajan Blind Free India Foundation. Sundaram is my father's name, and Nataraja Pillai was my grandfather's name. So Sundaram Natarajan Blind Free India Foundation And so happened, my name was given to my grandfather's name to me. So my name is also Sundaram Natarajan. So all three generations, we are working in eye care. I'm a third generation eye doctor. My grandfather, father were eye doctors. And as a kid, my father used to make me open the clinic and put drops for the patient, maybe at 10 years old. So my father had a clinic and I used to open, and then patients sometimes think I'm a room boy and they used to give tips and all. I used to tell them I'm his son, and then I used to sit and do the homework. But continuously working in the eye care, plus seeing my father and grandfather working. So my father used to take me to the eye camps because he was in charge of the government eye camps, the civil surgeon. So I used to go to the eye camp, put torch while they are operating. Those days they were using torch and a magnifying loupe to operate. My grandfather and father were working in a government eye hospital in Madras. After finishing my postgraduate in government eye hospital, I was treating only free patients. But when I went to Chennai, it was a private hospital. 50% was free and 50% was paying. The idea is affordable people can go to thousands of eye clinics and eye hospitals available everywhere. But still, we have 1.45 billion people, and then so many children, so many old people. Among them, there is a below poverty line people are there. So they don't even have a one meal a day. Those sort of people with a yellow ration card, what will they do? So I decided advanced retinal surgery will do free for them, and people who can pay little can pay the charitable charges. So that's why people, whether they have money or not, they should not go blind. I want to make India blind free. So I received the Brahmastra Award in 2013 from President of India, Shri Pranab Mukherjee, and in presence of the Prime Minister, it was announced for my vitreoretinal surgical skills.
Dr. Sundaram Natarajan, vitreoretinal surgery.
So our Blind Free India is a Section 8 company. It's an NGO, not for profit. So people can donate funds. Some people can give grants for doing research. Some can give endowment fund. And apart from that, we are looking at young students who are studying in the college, who can be volunteers in the organization to spread awareness on eye care, spread awareness on diabetes and eye problem. So how it will be if every Indian has good vision from birth to death. So that we will be the most powerful country with a good vision and good health. So join the Blind Free India mission, which is a monumental revolution which we are creating in India. You can have the video off and remove the screen. Can you have the lights on? So I follow my guru, Swami Vivekananda, and converted his talk, his statement as taken one idea, made that one idea, that is ophthalmology, eye care, as my life, dreaming of it, thinking of it, living on that idea. And I let the brain, body, muscles, nerves, every part of my body be full of only ophthalmology idea, and just left every other idea alone. And this is the way to success, and this is the way great spiritual giants are produced. And this, Dirbhai Ambani said, mutti mein, duniya mutti mein, and I say, the retina photo mutti mein using the mobile. The fact is, or the reason behind me doing book release is myself and Sivanandhan hail from this Tamil Nadu, and he is living God for me. I will do anything for him. Sivanandhan joined IPS Maharashtra cadre in 1976. I moved in 1988 as the youngest vitreoretinal surgeon of international repute, trained at Shankar Nethralaya by the late Padma Bhushan Dr. S.S. Badrinath. Both of us did not know Marathi, and I did not know Hindi also, or Gujarati, nothing. And he later studied Marathi. He used to give orders in Marathi as the IPS officer, and started writing, speaking, and giving orders in Marathi better than Hindi. And I still struggle with my Hindi, and he says, don't talk Hindi, because everybody is laughing at you. And I only say bar in Marathi. That means changla che. That means everything is good. Shiva is my mentor, guide, friend, godfather, parent, and a strict disciplinarian, and gives and guides me since 37 years. We go for exercise, walk, or gym daily at 6:30 a.m. sharp, whether it rains or shines since 37 long years. He is everything for me. He looks after me so well, better than your own mother and father, even today, in all aspects of my life. I owe everything for you. Second reason, he comes from humble Tamil family, did IPS on his own merits. That's the reason I'm doing this function here, not to boast of me, but I wanted to tell the connection between the I and police officer. Was honest, upright officer with grit and guts who took risks in life. And I want the next generation, all youngsters, particularly the Gen Z in Tamil Nadu, to be inspired to take up career like police or eye doctor and become the best in the world, irrespective of your birthplace and background. And that's what the whole function is about. I hope people will see in the YouTube later also. As Swami Vivekananda says, create your own destiny. There's no luck. And that's what Dr. Badrinath also taught me. It's only sheer hard work. I replace the hard work with love and passion like Sivanandhan. Take risks in life like Sivanandhan. What is the use of life? And that's how he encouraged me, and I went to Kashmir with no fear. I don't have any fear for anything. And I like to cite few incidents to narrate our friendship, exactly as described by Thiruvulluvar in Tirukkural 784. நகுதர் பொருட்டன்று நட்டல் மிகுதிக்கண் மேற்சென்று இழித்தர் பொருட்டு. தட் மீன்ஸ் நட்பு என்பது சிரித்து மகிழ்வதற்காக அல்ல, நண்பர்கள் நல்வழி தவறி செல்லும் பொழுது இடித்துரைத்து திருத்துவதற்காகும். Nor for laughter, only friendship all the present day, but for strokes of sharp reproving when you are right, you stray. So friendship is to be practiced not for the purpose of laughing, but for that of being beforehand and giving one another sharp rebukes in case of transgression. Thus Shiva guides me and teaches me daily. He is a protector for me and the city of Bombay. He is very punctual. I used to walk with him in Marine Drive till 2002, later in Race Course when he was a joint director in CBI. And I used to stay in Prabhadevi, drive daily wherever he was, and reach sharp at 6:15 and walk for an hour. He had no security whatsoever, and I think that's what everybody should know. And he was confident of himself and the Bombay police, and now it's Mumbai police. I used to wear white shorts and sports t-shirt and white shorts with a good haircut. Once in race course, a Parsi doctor saw me early before Sivanandhan reached. It was in November, December, it's dark in Mumbai. And how come a security guy is coming in Toyota Corolla car and your boss Sivanandhan is coming in a small Maruti car? I told him I'm an eye doctor and not a security. But so somebody was asking him in the last one of the interview, who gives you security? Anyhow, I think he was really confident. Second, when civil unrest happened in July 2016 in Kashmir, there was stone pelting by activists and there were thousands of pellet eye injury. That time, Borderless World Foundation called me for an experienced retina surgeon to tackle. Just few days earlier, Sivanandhan said, why not you go and operate? And I didn't know how to go, because how do I go in a civil war place? By that time, this invitation came and I went. And then that time, Dr. Raghavan sir, who was on the stage, called Shiva and asked whether it is safe for Natarajan to go. He used to call me Natu. And Shiva called me and asked if I'm afraid to go. I said no. He said, if you're afraid, don't go. So that's the same thing I remember Dr. Badrinath saying, if you can operate, operate. If you are going to limber, give me the patient back, he'll say. Still, because Raghavan sir called him, he called retired DGP of Kashmir. He advised, if I go with police protection, then I'll attract activists to notice and they may kill me. As a doctor, if you go, you are safe. Since I was fearless, I went to Srinagar. It was like a ghost city when you land and so much of security. I operated several hundred patients, created a world record doing 47 vitreoretinal surgeries to remove the pellets. I met the then Chief Minister and suggested that you should create a center of excellence, and I'm happy the Srinagar Maharaja Hari Singh Hospital, only two Hindu names were there, Natarajan and Sri Maharaja Hari Singh, who really hold the entire Kashmir, but rest of the patients, doctors, the government were all in Muslim, but nothing disturbed me. Later in Parliament, our then Home Minister Rajnath Singh acknowledged my surgeries in Srinagar. I was the New York Times front page and all the news in the world, thanks to Shiva for mentoring me. So he's the one who really supported me. Third, I got a call from D Gang. Everybody knows what is D Gang, and that was Dawood Ibrahim's gang. That was in '95. Of course, me and my family was worried that time. I was not that bold. And Sivanandhan was posted in Gadchiroli that time, Naxal infiltrated area. He sent me to the joint CP crime that time and solved the issue. But that few days when they tell your son is standing here, we'll kill you, you'll finish the hospital, how can he be peaceful? Like that, almost he has helped, guided me more than 1,000 times. I don't have record. I don't have time here. We'll write a book and let you know, all know one day. And I have spent 1 hour a day. I calculated 250 days a year for 37 years. You know how many hours it is? More than 10,360 hours. So now I apologize to his wife Lalita, who's sitting here and who's here with us, and his 2 daughters. That means he spent more time with me than the family or the police or anybody. And that how much he tolerates me, and I love him. And in conclusion, I encourage everyone to embrace your dreams, pursue them with dedication, and never underestimate the power of mentorship. So Atul Gawande says, have a mentor, have a coach, like a sports celebrity. I know the people who are sitting here are elder to me. It's not for you. It's for the young people, the coming generation. They don't have. So one of my friends said they have only sparrow attention, but I don't know how to tell in 15 seconds. Let's celebrate this wonderful book and the journey it represents. And thank you, Shiva. Tamilan endru sollada, thalai nimirdu nillada.
Thank you very much, Dr. Natarajan, sir. The immense love and affection which you have for you, sir, elevates him from the position of a fan into a friend. So, congratulations, Dr. Natarajan, sir, for the beautiful talk. And now, we all know that the proof of the pudding lies in the eating. All this trailer is about the book. And now we shall have the unveiling of the book. And purposefully, we have not wrapped it with any gift wrapper because this book is by an honest police officer who does not need any gift wrapping. கையில் காசில்லை, மனதில் மாசில்லை, புத்தகத்திற்கு திரை இல்லை, எங்கும் எந்த ஒளிவு மறைவும் இல்லை. ஆகையினால் புத்தகத்தை வெளியிடுவோம். Thank you very much. Dear colleagues, now we shall move on to the next part of the program in which our guests of honor shall talk to us about the book, the man behind the book, and why they are here to receive the book. And the first speaker will be my beloved friend and guide, Dr. Natarajan sir, who will be the president of the All India Ophthalmic Society, which is the largest professional body of ophthalmologists in the entire world. So I call upon Dr. Natarajan, who deserves not just an introduction, but an acknowledgement, because when he was in the scientific committee of the Tamil Nadu Ophthalmic Association, he was single-handedly responsible for opening the maximum number of district ophthalmic associations in the entire country. And now he is here to replicate the same Tamil Nadu model all over India through the All India Ophthalmic Society. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Natarajan, Dr. Natarajan, Professor Natarajan, a wonderful human being, Natarajan.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mohammed Sai, my very good friend, and he's a top guy from Vellore. and immediately agreed to be the MC for this wonderful function. Dignitaries on the dais, my dear friends, I am a very staunch follower of Swami Vivekananda like Dr. Natarajan, my brother, Dr. Natarajan. And I would like to acknowledge, today I am standing as the Vice President of the largest association in the world. It is mainly because of the efforts taken by Dr. Natarajan for me. I think we should all give a big round of applause. I won the elections with a huge margin because of the support Dr. Natarajan gave through his heart. Friends, a blind man went to Swami Vivekananda about 150 years back and said, "I'm not able to see Swamiji." Swami immediately replied, said, "You have lost your sight, don't lose your vision." So there is a difference between sight and vision. The sight is what we give as ophthalmologists when you do a cataract surgery or retinal surgery or do a laser. The vision is beyond that. And that's why we see all the people who are on the dais are all visionaries here. We should all give a big round of applause. They are all thinking beyond the level of the sight, that is called the vision. And that's why we call them visionaries. And that's why they are able to achieve everything in their life. My speech will be in 3 parts. The part 1 will be focusing on Dr. Natarajan. Dr. Natarajan told about himself, about what the work he is doing, but what he has done for the ophthalmic fraternity, not only in this country, but in the world of ophthalmology, we should be all proud of. Natarajan is the role model and inspiration, motivation for all of us in ophthalmology. I know Nati right from the college days or even undergraduate days. My father and Natarajan's father worked together in Government Ophthalmic Hospital. We know each other for quite some time. It's an honor that Dr. Natarajan is a role model, but more importantly, I do not know how many of you are aware, this book, sir, is a perfect example on Natarajan's life also. How many challenges he faced during. It's not easy to go from Tamil Nadu to Bombay, a city like Bombay, and hit the top. And consistently staying on the top for the past 30, 40 years. It's amazing. You can go to the top easily, but being on the top consistently is so difficult. A vitreoretinal surgeon of repute across the world. Wherever I go, whichever part of the world I go, are you from Dr. Natarajan's country? I'm talking about ophthalmology in general. That's the kind of, what you call, the name he's got. And we should all be proud of Dr. Natarajan. And he's been literally a role model for us, an inspiration for all of us. Always smiling, always full of positive energy, full of smile. The smile becomes a laughter. The moment becomes a dance. And for him, the life is always a celebration. Nati, we are very, very blessed to be associated with you. Now, you all know why Nati is so disciplined for the past 30 years. Can anybody guess? It's because of Sivanandhan. Yes, sir. Sir, that is the biggest achievement you got, sir. Not the underworld, eradicating the underworld. The biggest achievement is taking care of Nati. Otherwise, this guy would have been a pervert completely. Yes. And you have infused discipline into him. And now I know, because Natarajan having moved with Sivanandhan for more than 34 years now, and 37 years, more than 3 decades, whatever the principles of Mr. Sivanandhan sir, Natarajan has also got. I think similarly, what we say, the genes cannot go wrong. Similarly, I think whatever Shivanandam's preachings have gone to Natarajan because he's been with him much more than the family, as he rightly said, close to 11,000 hours. He had even calculated. I thought you are very poor in maths, but you got it right. but the reason why I'm telling this is, if a teacher just teaches, a guru inspires. There's a difference between just teaching and inspiration. And that's what Shivanandam has been doing for everybody. Now let's come to the second part of my talk. The second part of my talk is none other than the hero of today. Let's give a big round of applause to Sivanandam sir. My gateway to Shiva is another Shiva. My gateway to Shiva is another Shiva. That is Natarajan. Through Dr. Natarajan, I know Dr. Mr. Sivanandam for the past so many years now, more than 10 or 15 years. Though I have not walked with him regularly since I am in Chennai, but I have been following up very closely. I know his teachings. I know how upright he is an example for all the, not only the police officers, but the entire country to follow him as well. Shivanandam sir, in my opinion, is a great man. Very rarely you get a combination of everything in one person. A very great, competent, upright police officer, a man of great humility, simplicity, compassion, empathy, commitment, dedication, hard work, passion, and above all, a great human being. Let's put a very big round of applause for Mr. Sivanandam sir. Not because he has written his book, because how he has lived his life. How his life has been an example for everybody to follow. The life has been full of inspiration. And Mr. Sivanandam sir has stood by the principles. If you look at the book, I'll come to the book, that's the third part. But if you see, Sivanandam sir is a very, very rare blend of everything. If there can be a 360-degree personality, it's only Sivanandam sir can be there. And he can be Virendra Sehwag, he can be Mahendra Singh Dhoni, he can be Sachin Tendulkar, he can be Kapil Dev, he can be anybody. What I'm trying to say is he is the versatile person. I'm sure all the police officers who are agreeing, we were gathered here, his life is not only a model, his book is not only a model for the police officers, but also people, general public. When I read the book, normally I don't read books except ophthalmology books. My wife is a very, very staunch reader of all the books. When I started reading the book a few days back, when Sivanandam sir sent a copy to me, literally you can get glued, you will not go out of the book. Once you start reading, you'll finish it off. Because every chapter is so interesting. The next chapter is interesting, more interesting than the previous one. The amount of hardship he has gone through, sir, when I read the book, tears started coming in my eyes. Seriously, I'm telling you. Because we all know that in 1980s and 1990s, the Mumbai underworld was one of the major problems in the crime, gangster, kidnapping, extortion, and so many other, flesh trade, in association with the Bollywood, with cricket, and so many other things he's been mentioning, everything in the book. Dawood Ibrahim, Chota Rajan, Mohan Rajan. I'm sure if you had been there at that time, you would have encoded me as well. But the reason why I'm trying to tell this is in front of this august audience is that this man has gone beyond the call of the duty. You could have been just a regular IPS officer or a police officer or the police commissioner of Mumbai or the chief of the crime Mumbai or the DGP of Maharashtra or the police commissioner of Thane and Nagpur. You could have just stood by and finished off your term and got away, like many people do. But he beyond the call of the duty and he unleashed the Brahmastra at the right time. At the right time. The first time in the world wherein a Shiva has used a Brahmastra. To eradicate something out of this evil, out of this world, out of the country, making Bombay, not only Bombay, the entire, because the same MCOCA, whatever you call it, has been adopted in Delhi, Karnataka, and across the entire country as well. It's become the gold standard. All because of one person who has changed the entire ball game. Sir, we are really indeed blessed to be associated with the person of a caliber. And the reason why I told he goes beyond the call of the duty is that after retirement, he started a roti bank which has become very, very popular. Imagine the number of meals he has served till now. 23 million meals. 23 million meals. This is the world record of any sorts. Sir, I want to use this opportunity here because it's going across the entire channels. A lot of TV channels are there, YouTubes are there. The government of India should recognize you, sir, for the amount of work you're not only for the eradicating the underworld, but also taking care of the poor and the needy, which is very, very important. Very rarely you see a non-medical professional like Sivanandhan sir to have so much of compassion, empathy. Normally, medical professionals, we have compassion, empathy. I always believe, I tell my postgraduates and my associates, if you don't have compassion, empathy, please take your MBBS certificate, tear it and put it in the dustbin. You are not fit to be a medical professional. But to be a non-medical professional or a police officer like Sivanandhan sir, and to have so much of compassion, empathy for the society is something which is incredible. My salutations to you for that, sir. We are indeed very happy. And also you can see here that Sivanandhan sir has sacrificed his entire life, and a name synonymous with integrity, intelligence and fearless policing took on one of the most dangerous challenges in the modern India, the Bombay underworld. So, one Shiva is taking care, eradicating blindness in the world. The other Shiva, the hero of today, is taking care of the eradicating of the underworld in this world. So, in an age when the fear ruled the streets and crime syndicates held sway, he held with clarity and compassion, unshakable moral compass. His weapon was not the brute force, but his mind, his Brahmastra, was a combination of strategy, discipline, and a deep understanding of human nature. If you go through the book, then you will realize what all I am trying to emphasize or imply in this particular speech of mine. We are inspired to reflect on our own journey present. Dr. Sivanandhan's journey is a call to action for every citizen, every leader, and every young person who believes that change begins with courage. And Dr. Natarajan always used to tell me, because I know that the same thing as Sivanandhan has taught him, don't be afraid of anything. Why you should be afraid of anything? Why you should be scared of anything? Because you have not done any mistake in your life. Why you should be scared? Only few people who do and done mistakes in their life, done some crimes or something like that, they should be scared. And that is what I think was responsible for my AOS president elections as well. Sir, you have infused so much of knowledge, so much of principles, not only through your life but also through your book. This book should not be just in the book stalls or in the shelves. It should be available, in my opinion, we'll make it available in every institution in this country. Every institution. The reason why, because across this section of the society, this book will be a reflection. This book will lead them into a better life, better balance in life, better courage, and to be upright, and to be having the determination and the compassion and empathy through this book. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great honor to be here and giving as a guest of honor for this wonderful function of release of this Brahmastra Unleashed. And Sivanandhan sir, in my opinion, is the colossus. I think we should all give him a standing ovation for the amount of work, not only as the book, but also his life. Sir, you please sit on, sir. You please sit on, sir. We should all give, I want a bigger noise from the audience, please. And what I like about him is his humility. And hats off to you, sir, for tolerating Dr. Natarajan for the past 37 years. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mohan Rajan, sir, for a wonderful speech. Dear colleagues, you would all agree with me that stereotyping and generalization are two great crimes which have been committed, and these have deviated and distracted the youth of our country. Movies, especially, have always portrayed politicians and police officers as bad people. Some movies have even gone to the extent of promoting the underworld as heroes and the police and the politicians as baddies. And the doctors these days are also suffering from the same victimization by the movies. Here, our next guest who is going to talk is associated with all three: a politician, a policeman, and a doctor. Our guest next is Mr. Yashovardhan Azad, who is a 1976 batch IPS officer, the son of the former Chief Minister of Bihar, Mr. Bhagwatja Azad, brother of Dr. Rajvardhan Azad, Director of All India Medical Sciences, and the uncle of my classmate Shaurya, who is also a surgeon. He was also the special director of the Intelligence Bureau. Many American presidents have come to this country and gone back safely because of him, because he was the chief security officer for Bill Clinton and all the other American presidents who came to our country. In addition to that, he was also the Central Information Commissioner who has led parleys to Pakistan, Bangladesh, and all the neighboring countries, because he believes in having a safe neighborhood through friendly diplomacy. Ladies and gentlemen, I call upon an officer and a gentleman, Mr. Yashovardhan Azad, to address the gathering.
Esteemed Dr. Raghavan, my friend Shiva, the three eminent doctors on stage, ladies and gentlemen. You know, the Blue Mountain Express evokes a lot of nostalgia. And this Nilgiri Express, which runs from Coimbatore to Chennai, has a great significance in my friend Siva's life too. Trains have always represented a kind of emotion of romance, separation, transition. And if you read John Master's novel, Bhavani Junction, you'll get an ample dose of it. Anyway, this train took Siva, transported him to a world beyond. He got into the IPS the first time. He was a lecturer in Coimbatore, used to come and give the exam, go back, come again another day for another paper. But for this lad from Pollachi, a place near Coimbatore, to come to Chennai and then finally go to Maharashtra and be accepted as a darling of Mumbai is perhaps one of the greatest achievements. And I must say that he's certainly the pride of Tamil Nadu. And to get a recognition in Chennai itself, his home state, due to the eminent doctors here, is amazing feat. I think it's a great opportunity for me to speak here on this occasion, especially with such eminent men on the dais. You've heard a lot about Siva. I, of course, know him for since 1976. What was Bombay like in 98, in mid-98, when Siva went? There are many books, there are many films where it had been depicted and with a great bit of romance, where top actors who didn't even want their hair removed a little or changed, they have either glamorized or they have either underplayed. But the real underbelly of Bombay, the slime and the grease, the brutality, the devastation, the entire impact on the people perhaps never has been expressed so candidly as in this book, Brahmastra. It's like a brutal chronicle of a city under siege, and that also the financial capital of India. In the 90s, the warlords were virtually carving out Mumbai in the area of real estate, cinema, smuggling, drugs. There was nothing spared. And after the Mumbai 93 famous bomb blast, with the entry, Dawood himself, who had entered in the 80s, was leading a no-hold-bars campaign against the Gauli gang. And later on, when the Natarajan split after 93, and we were following very closely in the Intelligence Bureau, Mumbai was absolute hell. And the way Siva has described it in Brahmastra is truly telling. The JJ school shootout, can you ever imagine that in a ward where a prisoner has been kept with a posse of policemen, armed, and there's a whole gang which comes in with AK-47, the doors are closed, and through the door, The firing goes on, about 400 to 500 rounds, bombs are blasted, and finally the prisoner is killed. You can imagine the kind of scare. Another one, from police lockup. You blast the place, you drag out a prisoner, and shoot the hell out of the system. And third, when in a Navy uniform, you go right into the courts and shoot the person. Actually, when Siva joined, he was greeted by 2 shootouts, and it came out in the papers that the crime chief has been welcomed by the warlords of Bombay by 2 shootouts. And worse still, I'm telling you because the few police officers here, Archana is here, my batchmate are also here, will understand the kind of pressure, the kind of tension it builds on the police officers, and especially if you're a crime chief. And worse, after a few months, when there's a report by Justice Aguiar, if I get the name correctly, who said that the 99 encounters by the Mumbai police are fake. And I think that is the true test of a leader. When an IG leads from the front, and Siva went hammer and tongs to see that the same judgment was overturned by a division bench of the High Court, 2-member bench of the High Court, a few years later, deploying an excellent lawyer, Manohar, or some name like that. And finally, in 2014, even the Supreme Court maintained that order, sustained it. In that situation, when you're working in a place like Mumbai, a lot of things come to your mind. I remember Dawood, when I had gone to Pakistan, Dr. Mohammed mentioned my trip to Pakistan. I had gone with the Indian team in 2004, that historic tour. And the first match was in Karachi, I remember. And beginning also when I had gone to Karachi and I had said that we will not allow a test match here, we will only have a one-dayer. And as we were going, there was a Navy training institute to the stadium. On the left side, I saw the Clifton Avenue. And I looked at that house, which we used to know by heart in the Intelligence Bureau, CBI, and everywhere. And the ISI guy who was sitting ahead of us in the bus looked at me, we looked at each other, and I smiled, of course, knowingly, and yes, this was his house. And I think if there is one shame which we will carry in the national security setup for which we are all to be blamed, is that Dawood is still alive. And Dawood is still doing whatever he wants to do. Whether Operation Sindoor, I think the first thing we should have done was to get these 3 guys, Hafiz Saeed, the JM guy, Azhar Mahmood, and Dawood. The rest would have taken care by itself. Anyhow, in this situation, so what does a person do when an organized gangs have virtually overwhelmed the system, have tracked almost every part of the Mumbai world? How do you go about it? And I think that is the most important thing which has been spelled out, chronicled so well in this book, Brahmastra. The first thing is that you have a very glamorized version. There are heroes in the north going, killing the dacoits, killing the gangsters, with bulletproof vests in great style. That doesn't help, because if there is an organized gang, then if one is down, 2 others come up. So when you are fighting an organized gang, you fight in an organized manner. And that's what Siva did. It was least glamorous. I think one of the first things he did was to try and bit by bit get up the morale of those police officers who were virtually down and under. The second thing was that he relied very heavily on the Maharashtra the Detention Act. More and more gang lords were being put in. There were amazing number of seizures, and if you see the numbers in 98, 99, 2000, 2001, there's an amazing increase in numbers. Forensics, the investigation, each and everything to go through painstakingly will leave you no time for nothing. But I think the most important thing which Siva did, and I admire him for this, because very few officers, even I, when I was there in districts in Madhya Pradesh, one had hardly any time to do these basic things, that is to create and help build a law. And that was Makoka. No officer in the field goes and does these things. People who are doing manuals or in the secretariat are going through. But he religiously went, and Makoka came up in 6 months, only at his behest. Getting the support of the chief minister, getting the support of the home people, getting the field support of other people. And it was Makoka, and the test of Makoka lay that when the gang lords hit Milind Vaidya, who was the ex-mayor, Siva pursued with Makoka and finally got each one of them convicted. How do you lift the morale of the police officers? There's a famous case all of you would know about, Bharat Shah, the diamond merchant. And Siva because he was so active, he got a secret information that Chota Shakil was financing this film, Chori Chori Chupke Chupke. He was virtually sitting on the telecom head, learning from the general managers how to do tapping, getting those permissions, and virtually getting all the information, whatever is possible. It's an amazing feat, I would say, for an IG level officer to himself do it. And finally, the best part is he got Bharat Shah and he arrested him. All these guys, when he hit the film scene, he hit the real estate mafia, he hit almost every type of mafia, then the figures started climbing down. So hats off. I mean, he did an amazing job, bit by bit, and finally succeeded. Now, in the end, this book, there are a lot of things to ponder upon. What is the ecosystem which generates this kind of fault lines in the system? What does it mean to you when a deputy chief minister rings up an SDOP and says, who has gone to stop illegal smuggling of murham, that you don't do your job? How does a mafia sustain itself? The sand mafia today is almost all over. In 1988 and 89, the Bihar mafia was at its peak, the coal mafia. And there was a chief minister, Bhagwat Azad, who smashed the mafia, put 18 of them in the jails. But after a year and quarter, he was kicked out. No one supports such efforts. I remember in the Bharat Shah case itself, when I was sitting with Siva one day when he was there on the seat, and we were chatting in some restaurant, and he said only Pretty Zinta was the only one who gave the statement against the mafia. Each one of these big guys, Shah Rukh and all those, they melted away. No one stood against the mafia with the police. And that's why people who are in Mumbai recognize what Shiva did. Coming back to the ecosystem, the book raises in the end a lot of things, if you see it. Shiva talks about the crimes of the future. Even I've written about crimes of the future, the new age crimes. Are we equipped enough to fight them? The kind of calls we are getting, the way senior citizens are getting, haunted every time by these various calls and losing money. The only way to set these things right is to create the right institutions and sustain them. But unfortunately today, the institutions are being degraded. The institutions are being attacked. The statutory institutions we talk about have become a joke. The Information Commission today is dying. And therefore, when we talk about the mafia, we are talking about a system which has degraded itself due to the social fault lines in our system. And I do hope that by reading this book, these things are thought upon. These things are deliberated upon. So thanks once again, Shiva, for writing this book. I hope your Brahmastra creates many more juniors like you who take on the system and be true to themselves and to the service. Thank you very much.
This is what you call cross-referencing. When one article supports another article and we believe in the veracity of the article. Dear colleagues, the next guest of honor is a wonderful human being, a senior IPS officer from the 1963 batch, Dr. R.K. Raghavan sir, who has been the former director of CBI. He was the Indian High Commissioner to Cyprus. He has been the author of numerous articles in Hindu and many other magazines of repute, wherein he has commented upon security policy of the country and what the civic society should do to have a safe society. Not just that, it is our wish to keep the entire event and the evening apolitical, but this gentleman had the courage to head the special investigation team of the post-Godhra riots, where 2,200 people were killed, burned, and raped. And he had the moral courage to convict a person who was a minister. I do not wish to name the party and the politicians, but we have with us a gentleman who rose to the call of duty and established the faith of the Indian people in the constitution of the country and in the ethos called the Republic of India. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all invite Dr. R.K. Raghavan sir to address the gathering.
Good afternoon to everyone here. I'm extremely happy to be part of this historic function where we celebrate. I'm extremely happy to be here this afternoon to take part in this function. It's just a landmark event in the history of police in Chennai. This is a memorable occasion as far as I'm concerned because Siva and I are not different. We are together in everything. We are part of the family, almost the same family. This is the first time I've stepped into this great institution, the Madras Christian College School. Mr. Clement Felix is a big name in the Madras circles. Although I have not met him in person, I had heard so much about his venerable qualities several times in the city's academic circles. It's appropriate, therefore, that this book launch is taking place in such hallowed premises. Thanks, Siva, Nattu, and Dr. Mohan for having invited me here for this memorable function. These are my dearest friends on earth. It's no exaggeration to say that. Difficult to describe my sense of gratitude to each one of them for having asked me to come here. They've done so much for me in my life. I cannot forgive their kindness. Responding to their invitation is only repayment of a small debt of gratitude. Siva and I know each other for more than 5 decades from our IB days. We were together in the Intelligence Bureau. When I was in the IB, he was just a voice to me. We used to exchange greetings. Beyond that, it's only much later that I got to know in person. And that's one of my most significant things that happened in my life. That kind of friendship is difficult to describe or evaluate. This is a crowning moment for Siva. I am somewhat associated with this remarkable book much before it took formal shape. Siva was magnanimous enough to accept a few suggestions that I made, not very important ones, but a few ones which I thought would improve the reception to this book. The readiness with which he agreed to whatever I said showed the character of the man. Some of you may question or wonder why such a book was ever written. My response is, police history is slender and sparse. It needs to be enlarged at length and with objectivity. Siva has achieved this landmark with absolute ease. You can never accuse him of subjectivity. He's always generous to a fault, and I think nobody disagrees with him because he speaks truth and he speaks logic. He writes in this book, he writes in understandable and unpretentious language. This cannot be said, it cannot be said the same thing in many other cases. This is the greatest strength of Siva in his life, that is magnanimous to the core. This is reflected in the Brahmastra volume. Study of crime, both past and present, is essential to lead a peaceful life on society for the average citizen. Only such knowledge of crime will help save ourselves from predators and alligators who are millions on earth. The Mumbai underworld is a fascinating collection of people. Siva describes many of them in absorbing detail. Almost all of them are gone. Dawood Ibrahim, Natarajan, Varadaraj Vadaliya from our own Chennai are names which evoke strong memories. Certainly not fond memories. Most of them had links with the real estate industry or Bollywood. They were known for their power of deception and proneness to violence. How did they become so wicked? Each had his own rationale. We are not concerned with that, but what we are concerned with is the enormous misery they caused innocent human beings on earth. But then, crime is a universal phenomenon over many centuries. Those who could have altered the course of events have remained passive or indifferent to evil. We need to disseminate the message that crime can only succeed temporarily and not forever. If we cannot hurt and demolish the underworld, we can at least frustrate them. Books like Brahmastra educate us and lead the way. They help us to educate the policemen, a majority of whom will have to equip themselves to combat the underworld. My appeal to Siva is to not rest on his oars, but should write more frequently to educate those who are engaged in the fight against crime and evil. Police leaders cannot be mechanical and unimaginative. They need to be energetic and innovative. When every other discipline on mankind is proactive and dynamic, why cannot crime fighters be so? My congratulations once again to Siva for enriching crime literature. Pray for his continued good health so that he can continue his crusade against evil. Thank you.
That was a wonderful oration. It was not a speech, it was an oration. I see many youngsters here in the crowd, and I would like to tell you one thing. All the speakers who have spoken until now have spoken well, but the best employment of vocabulary, scholarship, erudite scholarship, precise, concise pronunciation was definitely from Dr. R.K. Raghavan. I wish you would take him up as a role model when it comes up to public speaking, because this is about speaking properly, getting the message across, and making sure that the message is retained by the audience without much difficulty and labor to the intelligence. Respected sir, your talk was a classic example of Charles Dickens' prose. Congratulations, sir. Thank you, and you are a wonderful inspiration. The next speaker is Mr. M.K. Narayanan, sir, but as he could not come here in person, he has deputed a senior IAS officer, Mr. Chandramouli, sir, who shall be talking to us on his behalf. As you all are aware of, Mr. M.K. Narayanan is a 1955 IPS officer. He was the National Security Advisor. He was the Director of the Intelligence Bureau. He was the Governor of West Bengal. And more importantly, in his civic responsibility, he was responsible for the nuclear deal between the United States of America and India when Mr. Manmohan Singh, Dr. Manmohan Singh, was the Prime Minister. Such an illustrious figure, Mr. M.K. Narayanan, sir, will have his speech read out by Mr. Chandramouli, sir. Welcome, sir.
Dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, it's my pleasant duty on behalf of the Chennai International Center, who is also a co-host of this event, to congratulate the hero of today, Mr. Sivanandhan, for his tremendous achievement. And all the dignitaries on the dais have already spoken and given strong messages. Well, I am just the messenger, and therefore my duty is to read out what the patron of CIC, Mr. M.K. Narayan, has very thoughtfully written about the book and about Dr. Sivanandhan. So I quote, "I am determined at any cost, and despite my accident," incidentally, he is down, he has fractured his hip, but still had the time to pen down his thoughts on this book and on his association with Mr. Sivanandhan. "I'm determined at any cost, and despite my accident, to express my views on the book, The Brahmastra Unleashed by Sivanandhan IPS, former Commissioner of Police, Mumbai, and former Director General of Police, Maharashtra, to be released in Chennai. Sivanandhan is a dear and valued colleague of mine and one of the most outstanding officers of the IPS. Despite my recent accident, Mr. Sivanandhan has kindly agreed to read out what I have written. Mr. Sivanandhan is not only a valued colleague, but I cannot recall another book written by a practitioner of policing which contains so many valuable insights into how to handle the menace of urban crime and urban terrorism. Urban terrorism may have seen some decline in recent years in India, thanks to the extraordinary exploits of Mr. Sivanandhan and his band of brave police officers, many of who gave up their yesterdays for our tomorrows, but we cannot afford to relax our vigil. The true value of the book, The Brahmastra Unleashed, a first-person account of how the Mumbai underworld was annihilated, is that it is unique in the annals of police history, not only in India, but across the entire East. Even in the United Kingdom, I have yet to come across a first-person account of this nature and quality, including from the famed Scotland Yard and the London Metropolitan Police. Quite a few commissioners of the New York Police Department have also penned their memoirs as well, but none, to my mind, equals in terms of policing, law and intelligence-led strategies, and the handling of violence what Sivanandhan has produced in his extraordinary volume. The special importance of this work is that it is a treatise on the handling of crime and violence in metropolitan cities. One needed to truly live through the era of unadulterated violence that racked metropolitan Mumbai in the period Sivanandhan was in charge to truly comprehend the enormity of the problems that he and his team faced. Over a reasonably small time period, Sivanandhan and his team controlled the situation in a way that witnessed the Mumbai underworld being effectively decapitated. While the bulk of the praise rightly goes to Sivanandhan and his officers in the Bombay Metropolitan Police, this would not have been possible also without the official and political support of the many different agencies of the government who gave him all-out support in this task. The real value of the book, hence, lies in the fact that the book is a mix of episodic first-person recollections, case studies, leadership reflections, and operational prescriptions. It moves between operational anecdotes, such as tracking and exposing underworld operatives, and wider reflections about institutional reform, including the strengthening of intelligence. As an insider, Sivanandhan's voice carries the weight of both knowledge and authority. What comes through loud and clear, and which will be his lasting legacy, is that notwithstanding so much talk of encounters or rogue heroics, he makes out a proper and lasting case for schematic, legal, and intelligence instruments. His recollections and success have helped elevate MACOCA, Maharashtra Control of Organized Crime Act, preventive detention and strategic prosecutions, into a decisive Brahmastra, turning the gaze away from sensationalism in favor of a rule of law perspective. The principal takeaway from reading of the book, hence, is how important intelligence, especially actionable intelligence, is in combating crime. Also, that systematic tools make for decisive difference, notwithstanding popular lore glorifying encounter specialists. This is a work that is worth its weight in gold. Every police officer from sub-inspector upwards in every major city in India, and perhaps much of the rest of the world as such, would benefit from a careful reading of the contents. It is a first-person account, and in the annals of crime, first-person accounts create a lasting legacy, unquote. I join our patron, Mr. M.K. Narayan, in congratulating on behalf of the Chennai International Center, Sri Sivanandhan, and also thank Dr. Natarajan and all the other dignitaries who have graced this platform and given us this opportunity to felicitate Mr. Sivanandhan for his terrific achievement. Thank you very much.
On behalf of the organizing committee, we express our gratitude to Mr. M.K. Narayanan, sir, for taking the time to pen such a wonderful and moving critique on the book written by Mr. Sivanandhan, sir. And now we have the proof of the pudding, in that we shall be calling upon the author to explain to us why he wrote whatever he wrote. One good thing about our good friend, Mr. Sivanandhan, sir, who was the DGP of Maharashtra, and before that he was in the crime branch for 6 years, and he was in charge when the Bombay Taj Hotel attacks took place on the 26th of November 2008. Although he lost brilliant colleagues like Mr. Hemant Karkare, who's no more, and 18 other wonderful police officers, he managed to go after every criminal and had all of them arrested. And that was a stellar achievement as the person in charge at that time. Not just that, on the 12th of March 1993, when he was in charge of the Intelligence Bureau, he has handled many sensitive portfolios, let us put it that way. He has handled many sensitive portfolios and has made the country proud and the city safe for the citizens of Bombay. One major legislative work which India appreciates today and law and order services all over the country are grateful for is the penning of the Maharashtra Control of Organized Crime Act. And the state legislative law had adopted it in 1999, And in many forms and versions, the law is implemented all over the country in its many various forms, and that shall be a lasting contribution of Mr. Sivanandhan sir to the country. And here, we Tamil people are very sentimental. When anybody does anything good, we appreciate it. But when somebody from our place does it, we go the extra mile and we call them Mannin Maindan. So, that is a weakness of the Tamil people. When you give something to us gently, we accept it. When something is forced through our throats, we say, Adu engalukku theriyadu popa. So that is the nature of the Tamil people. And with that typical Tamil sentimentality, sir, we welcome our Mannin Maindan, Sivanandam sir, to kindly address the gathering. எங்கு சென்றாலும் தமிழன் தமிழனே, எங்கு சென்றாலும் தமிழன் தமிழனே, உயிர் மண்ணுக்கு உடல் தமிழுக்கு, உடல் மண்ணுக்கு உயிர் தமிழுக்கு, இதை உறக்கச் சொல்வோம் உலகுக்கு. And the best verse I like, தமிழன் தமிழனே. The best verse I like in புறநானூறு is, இரத்த குளத்தை நிரப்பி நிரப்பி வெற்றி தாமரை பறிப்போம்.
பெரியோர்களே, தாய்மார்களே, எனது அன்பிற்குரிய போலீஸ் அதிகாரிகளே மற்றும் அனைவருக்கும் என்னுடைய வணக்கங்கள், மனமார்ந்த வணக்கங்கள். Thank you so much for giving me your valuable part of your life, the time on a Sunday afternoon. Instead of enjoying a siesta, you're coming here to listen to a book written by me. So I owe to you to a great deal. And I want to thank Dr. Natarajan for having organized this thing. He is a great friend of mine. He spoke all the time about me. I don't know how much is right, how much is excess, I don't know. Udukkai ilandavan kai pola ange idukkan kalaivadam natpu. So if I am friendly with him and he needs help, if I don't do what Thiruvalluvar has said, then I can't be calling myself a friend of him. So I also thank him for having organized this function, and Dr. Raghavan and Dr. Mohan Rajan. He is definitely not a Chota Rajan, he is a Bada Rajan actually. You can't say Chota Rajan, you are a Bada Rajan, sir. So my batchmate, Mr. Yashovardhan Azad, he read the book and he gave you the gist of it. Each page he has covered. Thank you so much, Yasho. And all other, my batchmates who have come here. Mrs. Latika Saran, she runs a Chennai Roti Bank. There are posters there outside. Please kindly have a look at it. And she is my batchmate. He was the DGP and CP of Chennai, Nanchil Kumaran, my dear tall Balachandran V, and Mr. Natarajan, who was the DGP here. Mr. Vijay Kumar, the hero, the folk hero. Mr. Vijay Kumar is here. Sailendra Babu and Mr. A.K. Vishwanathan and Madam Seema Agarwal. Madam Archana and Mr. Ramasundara, both of them are here. Mr. Ramasuban, my batchmate, is there. KVS Gopalakrishnan, Mr. Sivanandhan, and Mr. Kamaraj from Delhi Police, Special Commissioner of Police, Delhi, retired. And also my friend Sanjay Mutal has come from all the way from Mumbai. He is the CEO forum member, and my various other friends have come. Mr. Kurumurthy is my colleague in the Reserve Bank, not Reserve Bank, sorry, RBL bank where we work. I was the director, independent director. He was the top man, number 2 man there. So with that, I thank all of you for having so many others. Most of the others are also very, very close to me or very close to Dr. Natarajan. All the doctors, the teachers, and various others who have come, really, I owe it to you. Otherwise, I don't belong to this place and this many people. Your valuable time, definitely, certainly, I can't command, and you have come, you have obliged. I'll remember this ever gratefully. Now, about the book, all others have spoken, so I'm not going to speak much about it. I don't want to prolong this meeting. You have to go home and enjoy whatever is left out of Sunday. I can only say the book has come after 25 years. The job was done in the year 2002. Now, why we are writing it to 2025? It is because before the others sing the virtues of all the gangsters and criminals, the journalists and others writing bestseller after bestseller, somebody has to leave what exactly happened for annihilating them. What is annihilation? In 1940, 1950, 1960, 1970, 80, 90 and 2000, the Mumbai and the country was ruled as a mafia don. Karim Lala, who had come from Afghanistan, later Haji Mastan from our India, Kadalur, our South India, Kadalur, and then our Varadarajan Mudaliyar, famous Nayakan hero, and the other small-time people, they shared, ruled, they had done, managed all activities in the sea, smuggling and various other things, and then bloodshedding started, bloodletting started by Daud Ibrahim, son of a Havaldar, Ibrahim Kaskar, who worked in the crime branch until 1986 and retired as Havaldar. Later he passed away. He brought all the bloodletting, and blood was flowing in the streets of Mumbai. Mumbai police was shooting, definitely. This encounter, the first one started was 1982, Mania Surve. The movie is called Shootout at Wadala. Later, some Daud Ibrahim gang fellows were eliminated by A. Khan. Movie is called Shootout at Lokhandwala. Then hundreds of other shootouts by police. But did it solve the problem? The answer is no. It was going unabated. Gangsters were shooting themselves, hundreds of them. That was also going on all over. The list and the numbers are all given in the book. You can read. Then what made the difference? The difference is when this Agyar Commission, as mentioned by Yasho, said that 95 encounters were fake, the so-called encounter specialists, who are the heroes of very many movies, they went into hiding. They were facing murder charges, and then Mumbai police went into cold. When they went to hiding, the gangsters became bold, and they earlier were shooting people, and the shooting started from 1984 when Daud Ibrahim came into the scenario, but then it went unabated, like he mentioned about Babu Rashim in Jacob Circle lockup, in the court, right in the Killa court. Within 2 weeks, gangs started shooting each other. JJ Hospital shootout by Subhas Singh Thakur, and so many other things, brazenly challenging the very existence of the government. That's what happened there. And then one had to stop, because when the Mumbai police went into hiding, the so-called encounter specialists went into hiding, they went on a rampage in the year 1998, and they started shooting people in the offices, in their cars, in their houses and all. A total of 101 businessmen worth few hundred crores each was shot there in 1 year, 1998. Ladies and gentlemen, that is every 3.5 days, one businessman was shot dead. It's not a joke. It is definitely not a joke. The government of India could have definitely dismissed the government under 356 of the Constitution for collapse of law and order. The businessmen did call the CM and the deputy CM and showered abuses before the Diwali, and they said they will celebrate Diwali by hoisting black flags and refuse to pay taxes after that. But then what happened was on 18/10/98, morning at Top Hill, one businessman was shot dead in his house, 6 o'clock in the morning. Afternoon, during lunchtime, another one was shot in Dadar, and evening, one more, third was shot in Pali Hill. That was the Diwali day. That was turned out to be a black Diwali as promised by them, and that is where the government had to wake up and say, now something has to be done. I was working in the Naxal area of Gadchiroli. I was brought there with a baby with the bathwater situation. I want to say that there was nothing called political interference, not even a phone call from anybody, either giving advice or seeking advice. Nothing doing, and there was no interference whatsoever. And then, if you are afraid, you are dead. Jo dar gaya, wo mar gaya was the scenario. So in Tamil they say, Namarkum kudiyallom namanai anjom. That was the motto. And with that, we went around. Of course, encounters did take place because this Justice Agyar Committee report was was negated by a Bombay High Court judgment by Justice Ranjana Desai and later Mr. R.M. Lodha, the Supreme Court judge, after 14 years. Of course, legal fraternity helped us. V.R. Manohar, a very famous lawyer, did free of cost in arguments in Bombay High Court. And our lawyer Harish Salve, a friend of mine, he appeared free of cost in the Supreme Court, started out. Then when the police went to check them, they did shoot at the police. That is what that JJ hospital shoot, where Shailesh Haldankar was shot dead, but 2 policemen who were guarding them were also shot dead. Well, that kind of a brazenness was met by the police, by their own firepower. Encounter of 238 in number did happen under section 100 of the Indian Penal Code, and nothing. There wasn't any allegations or anything like that. Okay, that is not the Brahmastra. The Brahmastra is actually a combination of strategies like Maharashtra Prevention of Dangerous Activities Act. 1,600 criminals were detained for 1 year. Ladies and gentlemen, that is 1,600 man-years of criminals were spent behind the bar. Crime has to come down. Everyone, it was fashionable to carry a gun, from AK-47 to Katta, from Bihar, Mongyur. Then they shot doctors, Jaikar or Deepak Shetty. They were shooting lawyers, and they were shooting anyone who are coming in their way. So if that is the scenario, then we mopped all the illegal guns by incentivizing the police, numbering 2,500 weapons in 3 years. It would have a deterrent effect. Then we also had, I had gone to ESNL to find out the possibility of tapping the telephones which were coming from Karachi as well as Cambodia, Malaysia, from a yacht using a satellite phone by Natarajan, and the other side was Karachi, Chota Shakil and Daud Ibrahim. And one visit yielded actually handsome results. They said, yes, it can be done. Now, all the SIM cards and all the foot soldiers calls we need not tap, but we were tapping the source of all the orders and all the information that gave us. So Amir Khan, Mahesh Bhatt or O.P. Datta, so many Bollywood leaders, they were to be shot dead, but the police were there and they prevented disaster by taking timely action. So then the last one, encounter and other things apart, the Brahmastra is the making of the law, Maharashtra Organized Crime Control Act, that arresting top people like Bharat Shah, or even a sitting judge called J.W. Singh, a sessions judge, 28 months he was in the lockup. That sent a message that you deal with this businessman, people like Gulshan Kumar or Taqiyuddin Wahid or Sunit Katav and people like that, nemesis will strike you. Whether you are a 2,500 crore worth like Bharat Shah or a powerful sitting judge called J.W. Singh or anybody, they once arrested, roped in MCOCA, they could not come for 19 months. Bharat Shah was there inside the lockup, and MCOCA, the judge, was there for 28 months. That sent the message. Milindi Vaidya shootout, he was a 2 times mayor, and 3 people died. He was alive, he is still alive. The accused, 10 of them got hanging, and also a collective fine of 1 crore 5 lakhs. The hanging is converted to life sentence, and they are there. Even this Subhash Singh Thakur, who did that JJ hospital shootout, is there. We got it tried. When I was a joint CP crime, in 2000, we got it tried by doing pyravi, like they do in CBI. We got him a hanging. Later, it was converted to life sentence. He's still there in the jail. Now, the result is 101 shootouts in 1998, because of all the steps which I mentioned, became 48 next year. Then the next 99, 2000 it became 26, and 2001 it became 12. From 2002 to 2025, it is 0. No shootout whatsoever, and the police had no excuse or no way they could go and shoot out anybody, because under both the heads, the figure is 0, 0. But then, why is it relevant today? Why can't we forget it? The mafias all over the country even today, land mafia, water mafia, coal mafia, political mafia, so many mafias are there everywhere. So if you want to handle them, you have to have a study, a book mentioning about strategies, what could be done. This is the book. Now, have we forgotten all that? That there is no trace of mafia in Mumbai? No. Yesterday in the newspaper, if you have seen, one gangster, we shot him twice, both the times he pretended to be dead. He is alive. He's a dreaded gangster called D.K. Rao. He's working in the slum rehabilitation case of Dharavi. It is worth lakhs of crores, and by evicting people by force, he is a security consultant to the Dharavi group. Famous, very famous, Adani group. Let me put it up properly. Adani group is the consultant. There is another guy called Shyam Kishore Karikapatti, another shooter of ill fame. He is also working as a consultant. So these guys have not gone, they are doing. Yesterday, D.K. Rao's name was mentioned and he has been arrested for using extortion and threat for evicting people from those areas. Salman Khan is been attacked multiple times by Lawrence Bishnoi. Sitting in the jail of Sabarmati under protection, he shot Baba Siddiqui, a man who is worth 15,000 crores in January 2025. So when we put a full stop in the year 2002, 23, 24 years we had a holiday. No shootout by either parties, neither by the police nor by the gangsters. But it began with a bang. And this Baba Siddiqui did have police protection. He was shot dead. Later, Disha Patni, there is a movie actress, in Bareilly, they went and fired on her house. Salman Khan's house has been fired and he has been given Z scale and more than that, A, B, C, D, F, G, H, all has been given, but still they are under terrible threat. So this can be revived. And who is doing it? Definitely not Daud Ibrahim or Natarajan. It is some gang from Punjab and Canada under somebody's protection sitting there in Sabarmati jail. They can unleash terror in any part of the country or any part of the world. Kapil Sharma's restaurant in Canada has been fired upon twice by the same gang. Of course, what all they have done, I don't want to sing their prize here. So with that, this book is relevant whether it is Tamil Nadu or Bihar or Delhi or anywhere, and for the policemen to find out what happened once upon a time in Mumbai. That's a movie. What happened once upon a time in Mumbai and what was done. This will be a good reference book. This is the first official version. Otherwise, all the journalists singing the praise of gangsters is the bestsellers today. They are the bestsellers, but this is the first official account. And of course, people can learn or people can do whatever they like, but this is the official record. Otherwise, before my memory fades away or dementia strikes, I thought I will write and leave it on record. And this is the book. I request you to kindly buy a copy and read. It is just a small crime thriller kind of a book. Nothing, no heavy stuff at all. And with this, I will stop because one can go on talking about oneself and one's own book. The last line, this book doesn't sing my praise. This sings the praise of the Mumbai police, which was defamed earlier. And the Mumbai police, this is dedicated. I don't have a page number, but if you open on the third page or so, it says it is dedicated to the same Mumbai police which was defamed earlier, and they have done a wonderful thing. The right leader at the right time. Mr. R.H. Mendonca was my commissioner who supported. Much of the MPDA, all MPDA cases were signed by him with 95% success in the High Court. So with a collective effort, we did the job, and the Mumbai police has been duly praised by me in this book. Thank you so much for giving your valuable.
அச்சம் என்பது மடமையடா, அஞ்சாமை திராவிடர் உடமையடா, ஆறிலும் சாவு நூறிலும் சாவு, தாயகம் காப்பது கடமையடா. These verses were immortalized in Tamil film history, and I borrow those verses to describe the bravery of our beloved chief guest. Not just this, Bharadiyar had said, தனி மனிதனுக்கு உணவில்லையேல் இந்த ஜகத்தினையே அழித்திடுவோம். The reason for my telling this, தனி மனிதனுக்கு உணவில்லையேல் இந்த ஜகத்தினையே அழித்திடுவோம், is because his favorite author, Thiruvalluvar, here I have to make a remark. There are 1330 Tirukurals which all of us know. Do you know that our chief guest has memorized all 1330 Tirukurals? Therefore, when you memorize Tirukural, you will never have dementia or Parkinsonism. Therefore, I request you, sir, to come out with another book. You should come out with another book. Because Tandai Periyar says, நம்மால் முடியாதது யாராலும் முடியாது, யாராலும் முடியாதது நம்மால் முடியும். Tandai Periyar has already energized this Tamil community, sir, and with the same bravery, we share our accolades. We shower you with our goodwill, and we hope and pray that you remain an inspiration for the coming generations. The biggest problem with our society, dear friends, is that we have wrong role models. People are very happy when they see a fellow going around with a white, well-pressed khadi shirt, revealing half of his inner wear, and one photo of one favorite politician, whoever it may be, and he goes around doing nothing, and people respect him. Children are amused, and later they are bewildered, and then they think, maybe I should also go around with a shirt which is well pressed and the photo of some leader and go around throwing my weight. That is why they say, நட்பு என்பது நறுமணம் போல, நட்பு என்பது நறுமணம் போல ஒட்டிக்கொள்ளும், நட்பை ஜாக்கிரதையாக தேர்ந்தெடுங்கள். Dr. Natarajan is one good example. He chose a good friend and he has become a good man. Now through this book, I hope and pray that everybody becomes a friend of our DGP, Mr. Sivanandhan, sir. And he should be a role model for our children. The next time you ask somebody, a child should not say, na North Madras la dada aga pora. Instead of that, he should say, our shoot panna nariya pernala our dawn agalada. Our shoot panna ellarume dawn da. So that is the kind of accolade Mr. Sivanandhan, sir, deserves. And now I request Mr. Ramki to honor our chief guest. Dr. Natarajan, sir. Mr. Sampath, please keep the mic ready, because I wanted to go around and the audience can ask some questions in case they have any. And here I need to tell you one thing. Whenever Mr. Sivanandhan goes to the battle, he wears a bulletproof vest. Today, I am his vest. All your questions will go through me. Therefore, please keep your questions ready. The mic is on its way. Our volunteers, Joe, Emmanuel, keep the mic ready. Yes. Sir? No, let him answer a few questions. No, sir, they don't want to go home. One or two questions. Yes. There must be an interaction. Any questions? Madam, are you getting up to ask questions? Or you want to ask a question?
Yes, sir.
1 minute, sir. Let them finish this. Sir, your question. Sir, you can go ahead.
Yeah. Sir, namaskaram, sir. I am Ramesh here. Back. I am Ramesh. I am amazed to be part of this particular function and then listen to your speech as well. So as I was growing up, I used to find in the papers a person called Ribeiro, who used to be the terror policeman to all the wrongdoers in Mumbai. Has there been any has he been the inspiration for you to take up this kind of activity and then continue his legacy?
Sir, I will answer you. He is his own inspiration, sir.
No, no, no. I must answer very seriously. Hold on, sir. Let me answer it. Mr. Ribeiro is a legend. He is 96 years and 7 months old as of now. And then what he has done, very few other police officers could claim to have been done. He was fired upon twice, once in Jalandhar and once in Romania. First time his wife, Madam Melba Ribeiro, she got caught in the bullet fire. He escaped. Second time he got it in the hip in Romania. But still, he was the one who set right the Punjab terrorism. Later, Mr. KPS Gill came and sorted it out. But then, he is a truly inspirational man. He comes to office even now. We are working together in an organization called PCGT. I am the chairman. He was the founder. So he's the chairman emeritus. Ladies and gentlemen, believe me, that office is below ground, below the ground level. There is no lift. He has to climb down. At 96.7 months, 96 years and 7 months, he comes down and attends office and talks to people. And he does his work. If he is not an inspiration, who else can be inspiration? He writes an article every week in the newspaper called the Tribune. Tribune. He is an inspiration.
Come to the center.
I wanted to hear him.
What is
So I
your
was
question,
going
sir?
close.
This is not a question, it is a statement.
Sir,
Next week I will be 88. I have undergone a spine surgery. If I have come to this function, that shows the admiration of people like me who represent a large section of patriotic Indians. We are safe here because of people like Sivanandhan.
thank you very much for your generous compliments, sir. Yes, please pass the mic to the next gentleman.
Hello, I'm Dr. Subhash. It's a very inspiring experience which has gone through almost 25 years. In this 25 years, from day one to 25 years, I'm sure there are a lot of changes would have happened, and some highlights on those things, sir. It'll be much obliged.
Fine.
Changes in the crime.
Get the mic and come to the front.
Sir, in the last 25 years, things have changed. Today, doing a cyber crime is better than doing an organized crime or bringing narcotics or weapons and all that. Last year in India alone, registered cases, the losses is amounting to 22,282 crores is the loss which is registered. Unregistered, we don't know. So if these people can switch over to that kind of an activity, they don't have to face any bullets. Neither they have to kill anybody nor get killed. So cyber crime is the most lucrative crime today. And last year, that was 2024. In 2025, add 20% to the losses of 22,282 crores. If that could as well be mafia driven, whether it is Russian mafia or some other. For example, all the exams we conduct here, Russian mafia does come and beam the answers to those boys who are paying enough in India. So these are all activities they are doing. I mentioned about SRA, that is slum rehabilitation projects in Mumbai. It is worth lakhs and lakhs of crores. When builders go there and do this kind of mafia, new mafia or old mafia is actively involved in that. So this is a new one. But anyway, narcotic supply or gun running and various other rackets, even cricket betting is a fantastic revenue yielding model for all the gangsters. Thank you, sir.
Any closing remarks from our senior police officials?
If they ask questions, I can't answer. So we'll let them go.
I just wanted to say that I didn't want to take more time, but I'll take only 30 seconds. Sivanandhan is like he built training center for police. He called late Rishikumar Pandya, who was a management expert. Dr. Rakesh Shinna was actually a gynecologist who had a success institute to train police. And I don't think, I have not attended because of him. I used to go and attend a place called Manthan in Thane and many places. I mean, he used to be teaching the police how to, management lessons were given to them. And he himself, that's why I made him a faculty in the All India Ophthalmic Society Leadership Develop Program. He started school, hospital, homes for the police family. And I think I still know that a very old, dilapidated building in Thane was converted to a modern school, which the school ranks number now, first school run by some Gupta family. But what he created is only they pay 25% of the normal fees, the police constables' children, so that one of the reasons which he didn't mention, he wants to finish the hunger so that the hunger produces crime, and that is because they want more money, they become greedy. And in many movies they show the fellow steals the bread and he is not caught, he runs away and then becomes a criminal. He's a police officer with compassionate leadership for the police and the families, and that's how he teaches the ophthalmologist also. So he knows all the ophthalmology politics, what we do. And apart from that, now every 2 days he's giving a talk on cybercrime to the school, colleges. 10 years back when he gave in, first time I attended in V School of Management, I used to wonder what is the problem. But there was a problem in Frankfurt, entire Germany airport was totally cyber crime attack. And the Berlin airport came to a standstill, and they are still not able to recover. So I think they are taking ransoms from the airlines, from the city, and like that, I think we are losing money. So he's creating awareness, because every day some doctors losing money because of all share only something like digital arrest. All that he gives a talk. So I think lots to learn from him.
Definitely. So that was Dr. Natarajan's closing remark, which can be very succinctly put in Tamil. திருடனாய் பார்த்து திருந்தா விட்டால் திருட்டினை தடுக்க முடியாது. So on this note, I request Akshay to deliver the vote of thanks, and I request the audience to stay put, because after the vote of thanks, those who wish to purchase a book can come, bring the book, get it signed by the author and take it along with them. Because believe me, someday this signature is going to be worth more than the cost you're paying for the book. It will be a premium book. Please use this opportunity to encourage a great soul like Mr. Sivanandhan. Akshay, vote of thanks.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's my privilege and honor to deliver the vote of thanks on behalf of Sundaram Natarajan Blind Free India Foundation. On this wonderful occasion, the release of the book authored by our esteemed D. Sivanandhan sir. First and foremost, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to all the distinguished speakers for sharing their valuable thoughts and making this evening truly memorable. Our heartfelt thanks to Dr. Mohan Rajan sir for inspiring and insightful words that set a positive tone for the evening. Special thanks to Mr. Yashovardhan Azad ji for your encouraging address and for sharing your experience that resonated so deeply with all of us. We are immensely grateful to Dr. R.K. Raghavan ji for his thought-provoking speech and for honoring us with his presence here today. Our special appreciation goes to M.K. Nair sir, whose special address was so gracefully read by Dr. Chandramouli ji, and also Dr. Mohammad Sai sir for emceeing this event so perfectly. Can we have a round of applause for our MC, please? Dr. Mohammad Sai sir. I would also like to extend our warm thanks to Dr. S. Natarajan for his vision, leadership, and for bringing together this esteemed gathering under the banner of Sundaram Natarajan Blind Free India Foundation. And of course, our gratitude to Dr. D. Sivanandhan sir, the author of the day, for sharing with us this book that promises to inspire, educate, and guide many more in the days to come. Our heartfelt thanks to all the dignitaries, invitees, members of the press, and each one of you in the auditorium for your presence and encouragement. A special word of appreciation to the organizing team, volunteers, and staff who worked tirelessly to make this event a success. And also a special thanks to Madras Kishan College School for giving us this auditorium. On behalf of everyone here, I'd like to thank once again all of you for being here present and taking your time out. Thank you, and please stand up for National Anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा। विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा। तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे। गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।